I'm Eric Loy, and welcome to Eric Loy Interviews. On this podcast, we talk with folks from the VTuber community on their channels, their talents, their stories, where they come from, and their plans for the future. We'd like to welcome Lore, the Mama Owl. Hi. Hey, thank you so much for coming on. Please introduce yourself to everybody.
Hello, I am Lore, the Mama Owl. I am a Puerto Rican East Coast VTuber.
Thank you so much for coming on. How long have you been doing the VTube thing?
2 years now.
So, yeah, it's something to say. 2 years doesn't sound like too much, but for this particular industry, it's quite a long time.
Yeah, for me, it feels like almost nothing because I feel like this year is really the year I took off doing projects. But for so many other people, they're like, wow, you've been doing it so long. And I'm like, not really.
You're a veteran.
Apparently.
Yeah. Well, what got you started with it? Have you always been someone who wanted to entertain people?
I have always been an entertaining person, but I've always chosen not to be in spotlights. I started VTubing because I was a big fan of VTubers. I liked watching them and, I guess lurking in the fandom, never participating. And then I lost my job.
Oops. Yeah,
and
that
I
happens.
wanted something to fill the gap. And I was like, why don't I try? I love playing video games. As my name would hint, I love the lore in games. I was like, so maybe it'll be a little entertaining if I take a crack at this myself. But I went in knowing nothing about the back end of VTubing.
You saw the results, but not the behind the scenes.
Love the results, but the behind the scenes was all new to me. It was all learning from the jump.
Yeah. So, how long did it take for you to feel the cold water when you hit?
I want to say it was less than a month.
Yeah.
Like, I spent the first month, maybe the first 3 months of VTubing, trying to kind of learn like models and PNGs and some of the systems, but I didn't have a Twitter account. I had never had a Twitter account. I was like, how do I grow? And everything. I'm sorry if you hear background noise.
No worries.
Everything pointed to, go to Twitter. So I joined that. And that's when I realized there's a lot more to this industry than I ever thought.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And there's so many different levels you can participate in. You could be a once a month person who goes on one, whenever the stars align, or you could be somebody who goes on twice a day. If you really want to work that much.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many different levels to VTubing. And I feel like now is when I finally solidified, how often I'm present on streams versus making content. Whereas before I was like, I got to do this every day and be on here for at least 3 to 4 hours. It was crazy when I first started.
Yeah, well, I mean, everybody's got a lot of gung-ho in them. when they jump into something, and then reality kind of starts creeping in on the outside a little bit, and does it transfer for you in your experience from being something you enjoyed to all of a sudden like, oh hey, this is kind of a job now?
I've always been a very work-oriented person, so when it did start feeling like work to me, I still found a way to make sure it was going to be enjoyable work for me. Currently, I script, film, and edit my own videos for a weekly series I make on YouTube, but I also edit for a fellow VTuber. So I have on my desk, I have my own set schedule, what work is for me, what work is for clients. So it is like a little job for me now.
That's cool.
But I still make sure that it's fun. I make sure that anything I'm doing is pleasurable and pleasing to me and not something that makes me want to go, oh, I don't want to do any of this.
So did you already know how the editing process worked, or did you have to learn on the fly?
I taught myself how to edit. I had always been interested in writing, so scripting is not hard. But I taught myself how to edit.
Oh yeah, that took that. I imagine that was an interesting journey.
Truly. And still, I don't feel like I'm a great editor. I'm always trying to learn newer and better programs.
Yeah.
But to go from not knowing anything about it at all to learning on the fly, I feel like I do pretty well.
Oh, and that and having other people trusting you with it to do it is, I mean,
That
that's
was definitely like a huge honor.
yeah.
From it's it's a mutual, it's a friend of mine, but they normally pay editors, and when they approached me about becoming their editor, I was like, "Are you sure? There's a bunch of other people. I can help you find someone."
Yes, yeah. You wanted a professional, right?
It's like, you want all the like the stops, right? The
Yeah.
works. And they were like, I like your work. And I was like, okay, that's a little weird.
Yeah. Well, it may sound like that, but then there's some people who just take to something and their enthusiasm and their want to overcomes their lack of experience.
Yeah,
Uh,
I definitely am the type of person that I put this on myself. And this would probably be like my advice for others is make content that you would personally enjoy.
mhm.
So when I go ahead and make edits, even for like, my client or myself, I tell myself, would I sit and watch this?
Yeah.
If the answer is no, then I haven't done a good job. If the answer is yes, then I'm doing fantastic and it can go into the done folder.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm going to bring this up because you're going at it like an artist here, and artists are never quite satisfied with anything they do because they always go back and want to tweak things here, there, and a little bit. Are you done when you're done, or do you listen to it and say, "Oh, I could have done this"?
Oh, no, it's such a process. I am someone that's gotten very comfortable with my voice, so
Mm,
I will watch something I've made 1,000 times if necessary
mm,
to make sure everything sounds the way I meant it to sound, to make sure I caption correctly, to make sure I put stickers or emotes or pictures in the correct places. I will watch my own video 1,000,000 times before I actually post it. It'll be ingrained in me. And the same for like my clients. I made a video for them recently, and one part of something they said itched my brain to the point it was a vocal stim for like a week. That's how much I listened to the video before I was satisfied with
Yeah.
it being done.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Well, I mean that that's something you don't learn. Have you always been that type of a person where you grab a project and you are going to finish that project?
Yes, that is pretty much why I was always the last person to turn in school assignments in college. I
Mm,
was like 11:59, but 12 was the due date
mm,
type person
yeah.
because I had to make sure it was perfect.
Yeah. I was always last because I was just lazy.
I'm very busy, but once I do get started on something, I need to make sure that it is to the quality I believe it should be before it gets turned in.
Man. Well, hats off to you for that because not only have you found something where you can scratch that itch, but you also obviously are enjoying it, which is like you know it's such an X factor that multiplies the experience. Um, did you come in with the attitude that you, without any real goals as far as listenership and watchership and that type of thing?
I came in with absolutely no goals.
Mm,
I honestly was like, this is going to just fill in the gap until I find another job or go back to school again. I was in the middle of school when I started, but
mm,
it's something I've grown to love because I see other people are enjoying my content. I have a community that genuinely enjoys seeing me in any facet. And I see myself making this into something more, but I never set my expectations too high.
mm.
I set them in reasonable, achievable levels.
Yeah, yeah. That's a that's a good thing to do, but still, now that you're in there for a couple years, there's got to be some pie in the sky you're looking at.
I I want this to be like a full-time thing. I want to be a content creator who like, oh, I know her videos. I love her game suggestions.
Hmm.
She works with a lot of indie developers. Like I want to be that person. Like
Mm.
for me, it's one of my favorite creators is Hello Yinny. She's not a VTuber, but she posts a lot of like dating sim, otome visual novel content.
Hmm.
And so whenever I see her videos, I sit and I'm sat and I love it because it gives me a new game to play. I want to be that person for someone one day.
Well, I mean, you've been able to do this now for a couple of years. You built up your own community, and you said you kind of get fascinated with people coming to watch and be in your chat and see what you're up to. When you realized that was happening, and people you didn't know, never met, are coming back time and again to see what Mama Owl is up to, how did that strike you?
It makes me feel it's weird. Okay, so I'm a mom, so it's almost similar to like the love you feel for your child when they want a hug.
Hmm.
When I see like chatters returning consistently, and even if it's just be like, "Hey, I hope you're having a good day, have a good stream," it makes me so happy. It's why I call my most of my followers who come to chat, I call them my eggies, my babies, because I genuinely love seeing them and checking in on them and just hoping I can provide a little bright spot in their day.
Yeah,
So it's like a little like maternal love I get. It makes me really happy.
yeah, and that type of interaction makes it just a little more personal for everybody, and the chatter and yourself, where you've got kind of a link to these people who are standing upside down for you on the other side of the planet. and and while it makes the world a lot smaller, it also makes it bigger, doesn't it?
It really does. I have followers. I have like a follower in Australia. I
Yeah,
have some in the Philippines.
yeah.
And I stream sometimes at night and it'll be wild to me that they're like, "Oh my God, it's like 4 in the morning here or it's 11 p.m." And I'm like, "Oh my God, you should be asleep. Why are you watching me?" And they're like, I wanted to check in. I wanted to see what you're doing."
It's time for a Mama Owl lecture. Why are you still up this late?
Literally, I'll be like, "Why are you up late? I know you have work in the morning or you have school."
Patiently taps the ruler. Go to bed.
Hmm.
Well, so I have to ask you this because we don't hear about it a lot, but I'm sure it happens more than other folks tell us about being a VTuber and a mom. Um, it there's a lot of people who are basically doing this and not telling us about it. Um, do you think that being a mom kind of tempers how you are presenting yourself on the VTube sphere?
I would like to say it definitely I wanna say it gives me an up almost. I don't know about other people, but for me, how I grew up and how I'm raising my children is how you present yourself is a reflection on how you are as a person, as a whole, your character. So that's how I present myself in the VTubing sphere. I always tell people Laura the Mama Owl is an extension of me. She's
Mhm.
not that different from the actual me.
Mhm.
She just is a pretty anime girl on top of it. Um, I genuinely present myself the way I am in real life. So I make sure everything that is seen on the outside to other people looking in through like my social media or my streams, that's genuine. That's me. Um, it's not that far off because I don't want people to come in and then find out I'm a completely different person,
Yeah,
like outside of that.
yeah.
I present myself as genuinely as possible at all times.
That would be so. Some people can do that, and great for them, but that would be so tough to keep up for any period of time. Um,
Yeah.
and not have it affect one or the other. You don't necessarily want what happens with one world to creep into the other world in a negative way. Um, and for you to, I'm guessing here, and if I'm wrong, let me know right away. Um, Are you making content that you could show your child later and say, yeah, this is me.
Yes, I do actually. So I have older children,
Right.
which is it's a blessing.
Hmm.
But all of my kids are, as of January, above the age of 10. Um,
That that I,
and my
that floors me, by the way, with your voice that you said that. But
I am a young mom. I am 30 and my oldest is 13. So I am a young mother.
hmm.
Um, but I don't see it as a bad thing. Like my 13-year-old is my biggest fan.
Oh,
Is my biggest fan. My 13-year-old loves VTubers as it is. They do have some they watch like their VODs on YouTube of. I don't let them on Twitch.
right.
And there are
Yeah.
times where I make a video and I'm like, hey, what do you think of this video? And they're like, oh, you were funny. They're like, but you're my mom, so it's not too funny. And I'm like, okay, thanks for sort of putting me down a little notch. But I do try to make content that if my kids were to run upon it, they wouldn't be like, oh my God, I can't believe that's my mother. Like I make content that sometimes my kid will be like, hey, did you guys see this thing from my mom? And I'm like, don't do that. Don't show your friends.
That's right. Don't tell them who it is. Gee, make Christmas.
But for the most part, I always tell my child I make content that I wouldn't mind my kids stumbling upon, but I
Mm,
always let them know that at the end of the day, mommy is still an adult. Um, and my channel is not catered to children.
right. Right. Well, you can't do that now. You just can't, and be able to keep going because you can't really as many mods as you put together and how tight something's going to break through the chat eventually, and you don't you just
Oh yeah,
and
definitely.
you
And
can't
that's why
control.
I've kind of centered myself that way. I'll always, tell people like I'm a mom first, a VTuber afterwards.
Yeah.
And despite my content not being catered to young minds, I also have the emotional stability and mental fortitude to be like, hey, this is not for you. I understand you might have come across me. But I use, some language not for you. Sometimes I play things that are not for you guys.
Yeah. 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 Sometimes it trips a little onto the other side there. You don't want to see that. You don't need to see
Mm.
that. So, what type of games are you normally playing on stream?
I'm a big like RPG person.
Mm,
I will play things that chat has asked for sometimes.
yeah.
But I pretty much will play anything. I like playing, Marvel Rivals with friends,
Yeah.
Fortnite, but I also play like a lot of currently we're in the middle of playing like Coral Island. We're finishing up Silent Hill F. I've never played a Silent Hill game, but a mutual gifted it to me and was like, I want to see you play this. I will play
Oh.
almost anything in my own manner, I guess, and at my own pace.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
not one to usually follow trends.
So you're playing the Marvel Rivals and the Fortnite and that stuff, and then you put yourself in Silent Hill. Ay ay ay.
It's definitely it was one of those things where my community was like, Mama, when are you gonna play Silent Hill F? And I was like, haha, because A, it's an expensive game. I try not to buy really expensive games.
Right.
And B, I was like, I'm too scared to play that. And then one of my mutuals, knowing I'm too scared to play it, was like, well, here,
Yeah.
on me. And I was like, thanks.
And
Thanks for that.
thanks thanks for that one of those smiles like you're gonna get it later
Mhm.
type of smile.
And you know what though? They come into every stream where I play Silent Hill. They're like, I have to see this.
Yeah. Well, I mean, have you enjoyed it so far?
You know what? I will say, I am loving the game.
Yeah.
I am not loving the jump scares. Because I'm a jumpy person as it is. But I
Yeah.
am actually very much enjoying the story. I
Yeah.
wish the puzzles didn't take me a million years, and I wish I wasn't crying every 2 seconds. But the
Mm,
story in that game is actually genuinely thought-provoking.
yeah. Well, I mean, that keeps you around. For me, jump scares after a while would just be like, okay, I'm done. I'm done getting beat up.
You would think that, but I'm also a dedicated Dead by Daylight player
Oh,
since
well,
the game came out, so
yes.
I stick with it.
Yeah, Dead by Daylight. That's the game where I just figure if I've ever played it, I'd just be hung on a hook all the time. Just sit there swinging on the hook, yelling.
Oh, yeah.
get off the hook, immediately get put back up on the hook.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a game that has strengthened my resolve.
Yes. For someone who hasn't played that game, how what is the feeling for you when you get caught and hung up? I mean,
Um,
is it just disgust at this point, or has it gone beyond horror to just rah, rah, rah.
it's one of those things that when it first happened, when I first started playing it years ago, I would freak out every time I
Yeah,
got caught and hooked. I was startled, shaken,
yeah,
trembling.
yes.
Now, when it happens, I get that little like adrenaline for a moment because I'm like, oh, I finally got caught. And then I'm like, well, here we go again.
Hmm.
Gonna hope my teammates get me. And then we're just gonna jump right back in.
Yeah. Right. For me, it'd be right into the to the bad guy, just bonk, and up. Here we
Oh,
go
yeah,
again.
more than likely.
Yeah,
9 times out of 10, you're
yeah,
going right into his arms again.
yeah. And I would be the fodder, not being able to work on any of the engines because I'm busy being carried to a hook.
We all have those friends when we're playing with them.
That's why we're valuable. We take up the time of the bad guy.
Yep.
Is it just this? The dog isn't going to get me, just going to get you because I'm going to outrun you. That's how it works.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you're like, just hang in there, buddy. I'll get you as soon as I'm done with this generator. Don't
That's
worry, I
that's
got you.
such a caring soul. So, have you run into situations on that you have gotten into and then kind of realized this isn't where I want to be?
Um, for me, I would say it's really big in the community. The mindset of every stream should be a collab
Mm,
to be like a big deal.
mm-hmm.
Um, that's something that after a couple months, I was like, yeah, no, this has got to stop. This is not functioning for anyone, actually.
Yeah,
Because when I first started, all I wanted to do was like, I need to meet people, I need to collab with them. This is how I'm going to grow. That is not how you're going to grow. Um, Collabs are good, they're great, especially for networking. But
yeah,
if you solely rely on them, you're going to burn out very quickly. You're going to tire of people
yeah,
and you're not going to get the personal growth you want to see on your channel and in your content. And that's something I'm glad I learned very quickly. And it's to the point now that my collabs are very selective
yeah.
with who I collab with, what I collab on. Because if it's a game that also does not bring me joy and I don't enjoy personally, I will not play it.
It'd be just a wonderful collaboration with someone that you don't enjoy being around in a game that you absolutely despise.
Yeah. And there are people that will push themselves through that because they're like, oh, well, I'm getting out there and other people outside of my community are seeing me. But it's like, it's not worth it.
Yeah,
It's not worth your peace of mind. It's not worth the love of the game you have for VTubing or content creation.
right.
And you're not gonna find your circle that way if you're always just choosing content over quality.
Yeah, and it's still basic marketing at the end. If you are in with somebody who doesn't have the same target audience you do, if like say you were paired up with someone who's just very very adult and um, uses stuff that you definitely don't want the kids to even know that exists at this point. Um, and it's a game that you don't particularly enjoy, but you're just doing it because you want to grow the channel. Well, you're not growing the channel. You're just putting yourself through torture. Um,
Pretty much. And you don't want your community is going to be your biggest supporter
yeah,
in the world of VTubing and, streaming as a whole. And when your community sees you participating in things that very much shows you're not enjoying it, they're not going to enjoy seeing you like that.
oh, they'll know right away.
Yeah, they can tell. There've definitely been times where, one of my mods is like, "Hey, you good? You didn't seem 100% yourself." And that's when you kind of take the step back and you go, "Okay, why wasn't I 100% myself? What happened during that, collab where it fell off. Or sometimes you got to just sit back and tell yourself that. There's
Yeah,
been a few collabs where I'm like, this didn't work out. I am going to reconsider participating in something like this in the future.
yeah. And I brought this up a little bit in the past, but sometimes there's just not a reason it doesn't work. And I've been on broadcasts with people over the years, whether it's a sports broadcast or something else, where there's just no chemistry, and it's not anybody's
Yeah, that's
fault.
a big thing too. Sometimes you might have a reason, just like, "Oh, I didn't feel right.
Yeah,
It didn't feel good. Didn't feel copacetic. So I'm just not gonna put myself in that position again."
yeah. It's not a question of people who don't like each other or anything like that. You could have two of the very best instrumentalists together and have it sound like that neither one of them knows what they're doing, just because
Hmm.
it just doesn't fit. There's and you can't force something like that either too much.
Yeah, that's one of those things where you just gotta realize that you can't get blood from a rock.
Yeah, yeah. I can't.
Sometimes it just doesn't work.
Sometimes I tell that to the bill collectors, but they just want pieces of the rock. I'm like,
It's like all I got is the rock.
it's not even really rock. It's more like concrete, but they don't care. They'll take little bits here and there. Um, with this now, obviously, I mean, just listening to you talk about it, you're enjoying yourself with it, and you've been able to take the time to put thought and effort into what you want to do with it. Is there something that you have not done yet with the channel that's eating away at the back of your mind that you really want to get started in doing?
Wow, that's a good question.
Hmm.
I think for me, it would just be being more, it sounds crazy when I talk about my community, being more present for my community.
Hmm.
Um, I put a lot of eggs in different baskets. And sometimes when I look at my own Discord community, I feel like I'm failing them.
Well, being a mama owl,
But
you should be having a lot of
yeah.
eggs, actually.
Yeah, I feel I do so much, and sometimes I still feel like it's not showing.
Ah,
Um, but I take it just day by day. I always try to keep my community updated on what I'm doing, even if it's a small thing like, hey, not streaming today.
mhm.
Um, but yeah, there are just times where I feel like I could do better for my community, which I know if my community hears this, they're gonna be like, "You're insane." Um,
What are you talking about?
I know they're literally gonna be like, "What are you talking about?"
But I mean, it's good to have that at a healthy level, because you are kind of responsible for this group you've put together now, who've gathered around you. You're the mama owl, and they're your brood at this point, and they're taking a lot of time out to enjoy what you're doing and help you along in your travels as a VTuber. But it can leach over and start to really pull away from your enjoyment of what you're doing it. And I cannot imagine that there hasn't been a point in 2 years where you're like, oh, what have I done? that that given that and being a mom and everything is just a little too much at the time.
Yeah, there definitely was. There was not this year. It was last year. I
Mm.
took about a month off from streaming. My community missed me so much. Like I still had my Discord, so they were,
Yeah,
in there every day asking how I was.
yeah.
But it felt like it was a lot because last year, I found out that my mother had cancer.
Mm,
And I took an entire month off because I was like, I need to be with her because she has no one to take care of her after her procedures and
right,
chemo.
right.
And it was hard because I was traveling an hour every day to go take care of my mom and
Yeah,
spending the day there and coming back. And then I had my kids. And I just told my community, I was like, hey, I can't do it all right now.
right.
And I was like, I'm sorry, there's going to be no videos, there's going to be no streams,
Yeah,
but I'm still going to be in here. And they were so understanding.
yeah.
It made me so sad.
Yeah, sad, but this is it a thankful sad?
No, it was like like you ever see a puppy so cute it makes you cry a little? It was kind of like that. I was like, wow, you guys are so awesome and understanding because, you hear the good sides of VTubing and their communities, and then you hear the bad sides.
Hmm.
And it was one of those things where I was like, oh man, am I going to lose my entire community because I'm gone for a few weeks?
And no.
And instead, somehow my community had all stayed strong and like waited for me. And my first stream back from that, so many people came and so many like mutuals came in and raided. And a lot of them didn't even know about why I was gone. They just knew I was back.
Yeah. Yeah. That's gotta. That had to put a few tears in your eye.
It definitely did.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, really, it's to have folks that you've never seen in person care enough about you to do that. People in other countries, people who of different backgrounds, is it's one of those wind beneath your wings moments.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after all that, and you get done with your first broadcast back, um, where are you at? Where's your head at that point?
Um, Kind of felt it's like a relief
Uh,
because I had already so much going on and I built myself up to do that stream just so I could, make sure and solidify I'm back and that I wasn't, going to stay away longer.
right.
It just felt like a weight off my shoulder
Hmm.
to see people coming back in to see me.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where I was like, I'm gonna probably disappear from everyone's thoughts. I don't know if I can, get the traction back, especially because I still felt so new at this. But to see that I wasn't forgotten and so many friends and mutuals and followers came back, I was like, oh, okay, I got this. We're good. We can keep pushing. Like it's only up from here.
Yeah. Yeah. Your voice is very conversational, right off the bat. I mean, it's very it's one of those that doesn't have a whole lot of rough edges, so it's very easy to talk and have a conversation with you, and you're really very responsive and on top of it. Has it always been that way?
Yes, it has. I tend to get very I always like tell people, "Oh, I'm not a people person," even
Yeah.
though everyone just looks at me and goes, "That's such a lie." But I have always been a conversationalist, and I enjoy my yapping.
Yeah.
Um, but VTubing has definitely brought that to light more. Um, Especially amongst my community where they're just like, man, I just love hearing you talk. I told a friend to come like listen to you just, for your like reading streams or your visual novel streams where you're doing more talking than playing.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of why I had a few friends encourage me to pursue voice acting, which I did start recently.
Yes.
Um,
I was gonna say that. I was gonna say that, but yeah, it's a uh, you got a voice that's kind of like a warm hug.
that makes me so happy.
It's true. It is very inviting, and the personality behind it is inviting as well, which makes all the difference in the world. You ever heard somebody with a really nice voice and they're just mean as all get out?
Yes.
That drives me crazy. Like either be angry and
I
sound
I've
angry.
met a few people like that.
Yeah, yeah. It's like having a pet that looks so pretty and will bite you the moment they see you. No, sound mean. I know what's going on.
Yes, I feel like that is something that commonly happens to people where you're like, "Oh, sounds so nice," and then they like actually talk, and you're like, "Oh, oh, never mind."
I mean, have you been on stage before?
I have. I was a member of my choir, like my high school choir,
Hmm.
all throughout high school, and even spent a summer because I live in Massachusetts. I'm very open about where I live. I spent a summer in
Massachusetts.
Berkeley for my voice.
That's different than Massachusetts.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
definitely
yeah,
definitely something.
that's not around the block from Massachusetts. That's a ways. Uh, so, and you worked on your voice while at Berkeley.
Yep. I got to go there for my singing,
Yeah.
and I got to kind of learn new techniques and better ways to maintain my voice, which is funny when it comes to the fact that I'm not a VTuber who does a lot of karaoke streams or singing.
Yeah.
I
Yet.
don't use my voice in that manner anymore, I guess.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have to. Now that's folks are listening. That's up to you. Now you got to go bug Lore and tell them that you want to hear music now. That's
I
that.
promise something is coming. I did
Yeah.
a mini cover recently, and
Yeah.
I'm working on a cover of another song.
Yeah.
It's just like I'm dipping my toes back into music after all these years.
It can't stay away. There's the singer is inside.
Oh yeah, she's
And
still in there.
the for you in getting the positive feedback. Um, did that positive feedback happen for you very quickly, or was it something that you kind of just put your nose to the grindstone and started getting a little later in streaming?
I started getting it a little later.
Hmm.
I feel like when I first started streaming, I was very much going for I started as an Overwatch streamer.
Oh.
I was very much going for I'm a girl that plays FPS games and she is very bad at them, but she tries. Um, and I quickly was like, I cannot do this. I have to play games I enjoy, or this is going to be a very short career.
Watch me die at Overwatch over and over and over again.
Watch me only play one role because I can't do anything else.
I know how to do this button.
Pretty
This
much.
this
I am
spam the
still the
window.
biggest champion of I despise WASD.
Yes.
So every time I'm playing a game and they're like, no controller, and I'm like, all right, chat, this is now going to be a terrible stream because we do not do keyboard.
Yeah, you know what? This is something too that I don't think, not all that many games do the keyboard thing these days, but I'm left-handed for the most part. And I cannot get my fingers to work WASD. And it just
It's
doesn't.
so hard.
I mean, and I've got the direction buttons on the keyboards I use, and that's perfectly fine. But WASD, no way, I can't do it. I'm always end up with Q or 4 or something like that. And
Person, whenever I'm playing a game that's like more PC driven for the keyboard,
yeah.
and my model will be stuck looking down because I'm staring at my keyboard. I'm like, this is W, this is shift, that
Yes.
is control. Okay, I don't know what any of them do, so I'm just going to stare at my keyboard 90% of the time.
Yeah.
So my model looks like she's asleep, but I promise you I'm here.
Even on Stardew Valley, I had to refigure the keys, and I'm so glad he put that in the program because there would be no way I could move around. There's the one little mini thing where you play the game in the arcade with the WASD keys.
hmm
I am terrible at it. I actually have to switch hands and
I'm so bad at that game, even on controller.
yeah.
I also am a proud owner of Stardew Valley on everything.
Yes. Yeah, you got me beat on that, but I've also got 30 save files.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah.
I'll do like three tops, but I have 3 files on my PlayStation, 2 files on my Switch. I have 2 files on my PC.
It just sucks you in, and you can't do anything about it once you're there.
Truly, truly.
And it feels like I'm weaning myself off of something when I haven't played it in a while.
Oh yeah, and then I fill it up with other games similar.
Yeah, yeah,
Everything. I have Fields of Mystery. I have Coral Island. I
yeah,
have My Time at Portia. My Time at Sandrock, which is a game I talk about way too often to
yeah,
chat.
yeah. Did you say Portia? Do you have the Portia game?
Yes, I do.
Oh, okay. I looked into that a long time ago, and I just never picked it up. Um,
It's very good.
yeah,
I would only say that the controls are very wonky.
yeah. I was worried about that.
Yeah, just something that takes time to memorize it. To this day, I have a completed file and I'll still be like, how do you do this again? What button was it?
Yeah, I get the Steam notices that My Time at Portia is available now, and we'll pay you $5 to take it. And I'm like, oh, not this time.
Oh yeah, I'm a far bigger champion of its sequel, My Time at Sandrock. I
Yeah,
think to the point that chat knows when it's gonna come up in conversation. I'll be like, guys, you know what this reminds me of? And they're like, nope, here she goes
yeah,
again.
yeah. They they put you on hold and wait until you're done.
Oh yeah, and every time it's on sale,
Yeah.
I post about it. I'm like, listen, this is not sponsored, but you guys should play this game. But also, Pathia, if you would like to sponsor,
Yes. I'm right here. I'm right in your
right
sights.
here.
You're not going to find anybody better at promoting the game than me. And that game
I
is
promise.
Sandrock. And you can get right here.
Yep.
Do the old DJ thing of coming right back to it. And you can get it right here.
Pretty much. I recently made a video about a different like cozy game that's coming out, and they have a collaboration with My Time at Portia. And I
Oh.
was just like, and you know what's funny about this? I was like, it all connects.
Yeah.
Because my first ever, I guess, big produced video that I actually scripted and filmed was about, 5 reasons you should play the My Time at series.
Mm.
And I was like, look, guys, it all connects.
It all fits together. Perfect puzzle pieces. Now, I have noticed that you are practically on every stream available. Um, every service, both social, and I think you might have invented a couple along the way. But then all the links, by the way, are going to be in the description for this video. Um, did that something that took? Did you go one by one, or did you throw yourself into the big pool of promotion and jump in all of them at once?
That was one by one. I pretty much started with getting myself on Twitch and then realizing I probably should participate in the community of VTubing. So
Mm,
I got Twitter.
yeah.
And then slowly from there, Blue Sky ended up becoming a thing. So I got Blue Sky, I got Instagram. TikTok was probably right after Twitter.
Mm,
So once I got Twitter, I got TikTok and started off from there.
yeah.
And then YouTube came, I want to say YouTube technically came last year,
Yeah.
but me doing actual videos with it was definitely this year.
Yeah.
I didn't want to just post VODs.
So when you're doing videos, is how different is it? Because I think people don't realize how different it is to record something as opposed to doing it live. Um, for one thing, you get a chance to redo it if you record it. If you
Yeah,
mess
there's
something up,
that.
are you more comfortable with being live and off the cuff, or would you rather have it scripted out in front of you?
I prefer having it scripted out
Hmm.
because I take time when I'm writing my scripts. One, to write with my own voice in mind
Hmm.
and my own mannerisms and speech patterns.
Yeah.
But two, it gives me more time to actually think instead of on the fly saying something. Because I do a lot of videos on demos, like indie games that are up and coming.
Yeah.
They don't ask for my promo, but I give them my promo. So I sit there and I play the game, and then I take time to actually, enjoy it, and then process what I played and make somewhat, hopefully, a thoughtful script about it,
Yeah.
and then start recording.
Yeah. That's a different mindset. Did you have to teach yourself that mindset, or was it something that was easy for you?
It's actually pretty easy for me. I love to live in the moment when I play a game, uh, or like, try a new show, things like that. And then afterwards, I like to kind of compose my thoughts, and write about it.
Hmm. And and with that, you're able to put together the general basis of a script, and
Yep.
then go from there. That's cool. Geez, you got everything. Ah, it, I think you got everything kind of put together. You're kind of ready to go and just burst here with what you got set up. Um, is there anything right now that you really want to do that you haven't done yet?
I would love to just make a video for like a game. Like, I would love to work closely with someone making a game or wanting to promote a game.
Mm,
But for me, it always comes down to like, I need to play it. I do not ever shell myself out for a game I haven't played myself.
yeah.
So that's like a big thing for me. I recently
Raid.
became
By the
a
way,
creator for.
Raid Shadow Legends brings you.
Yeah, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like, hey, Raid Shadow Legends, play this. Like, I recently became a creator for a company called Next Up Games,
Oh,
where
cool.
they help indie devs promote their games. And my big thing was like, I won't do something for a game that doesn't have anything for me to go off of.
Mm,
I have to play it myself. I will not script anything and promote it if I can't experience it myself. Because I
mm,
don't want to lie to viewers. And I also don't want to go off hopes and dreams to be
yeah.
like, I hope you'll like this game. I hope you'll try it out, even though I've never tried any piece of it and I only have pictures
Right, right.
to go off of. I that's a big thing for me.
Yeah, by golly, you've got scruples, and which is a wonderful word in Scrabble. Look it up. It's a lot of points if you put it in the right place.
I can imagine.
Yeah, and yeah, it doesn't always happen with VTubers. They get caught in the moment and kind of sell little pieces of themselves off. But I can't see you doing that at all. Um,
I really can't. I've gotten approached for, oh, will you promote our drinks or candles? And I'm like, no, not unless I get to experience it myself and enjoy it. But I'm not an energy drink person, so that's not gonna work. So unless Dunkin' Donuts is looking for a VTuber, I can't really help you. But I'm
V2,
just a big firm person on if you like it and you enjoy it, promote it, even if it's free promo for that company.
yeah,
Maybe one day they'll see, that this person brings something to the table.
yeah,
And that's kind of like what I do.
yeah,
I had a recent moment where I posted about a game very early in development, but they had a demo, played it, loved it.
uh-huh,
And to see the dev message me and, be so thankful, it made me so happy
yeah, yeah.
because you're not going to get that from big AAA studios most of
No,
the time.
no,
But
no.
these smaller developers that are putting their everything into this passion project, and I just want to put it out there for other people to see. It was so nice to see them come back and be like, thank you so much for your video. We loved it. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
And that was it. I didn't even I don't even want anything in return. Like if I do get something out of it, I share it with my community. Um,
If
it makes me so happy.
even if you do get it from the AAA's, it's a cease and desist letter. Stop!
Yeah.
You pay us to do this. No, the smaller folks realize the if they're smart, and most of them are, because otherwise they wouldn't be able to do the computer stuff. Um, that publicity, good free publicity, is worth its weight in latinum. I mean, there's just so much that you can get out of a good word of mouth, and more people playing it, and people getting a free showcase like this. Um,
Truly. I'm a big believer in that. I have a mutual I converse with all the time. We're really good friends. But I told them that I see my place in the streaming world as kind of like the game Peak,
uh-huh.
the mountain climbing game.
Right.
You know, you could go up all by yourself
Yeah.
and make it to the top, or you could go with friends and help those friends on those journeys. And I'm big on that.
Hmm.
I am constantly, uplifting my other fellow streamers. Sometimes I have mutuals come to me and ask for advice, or just even ask like, hey, can I promote something in like your Discord or wherever? And I'm big on wanting to help others. I even I co-own a server for fellow Latin creators to
Ooh.
kind of, join together and, bounce ideas off of each other, just see that there's other streamers, from similar countries and backgrounds as them. And that was a big thing for us in October. Like
Yeah.
September to October was Hispanic Heritage Month.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that was all of our streams. I was hosting with my co-owner, like big streams like Hispanic Heritage Month. Come meet these other wonderful Hispanic VTubers you might not have found.
Yeah. And I have to ask you. I mean, I, I've already got you past the time I said I was going to keep you, but
Oh, you're fine.
I have to ask, why is there not more Spanish content available?
Like overall,
Yeah.
VTubing is largely in the like English and, Japanese facets, I feel.
Yeah.
Like most of us who discover it, we discover it either through like Hololive or Nijisanji or
Yeah.
just, like Iron Mouse.
Right.
And it's almost always in English because that is a dominant language in the universe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it feels harder to reach out just in Spanish.
Yeah.
And for some VTubers, they might not even feel comfortable speaking in Spanish because it might not even be their native tongue.
True.
That's why my mutual and I created the server. The server is called the Chancla Academy. And we just said, whether or not you speak Spanish, whether or not you're half, something or not, we want to help you and support you, and you can be around, more of your people. But the big thing is, like, we want to support you in your journey.
Well, I tell you what, anyone who hears you talk about what you're doing and sees what you're doing on stream and doesn't want to support you is a Grinch. So take that, people. Folks,
truly, I hope you get coal.
Yes. Folks, you got to check out what Laura's got going on. Obviously, so easy to talk with, and this time has flown by. I'm rather upset that it went that fast. But folks, you got to check out what they've got going on. We'll have all the links in the description. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm glad to be able to meet you by doing
Oh my
this.
God, thank you for inviting me.
And really, I really want to see how you do in the future, and I'll be rooting for you every step. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Thank you for listening to Eric Loy Interviews. Join us again next time when we talk to another member of the always interesting VTuber community.